Hello everyone, I am very happy to see you today on this morning. I hope everybody have grabbed their coffee and make themselves comfortable. We're going to talk about a very interesting topic about cross-generational collaboration. So we'll take a look about Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z generations and how they're different, what their stereotypes. My name is Nadya Stels. I work at iSpring as a senior partnership manager. You're welcome to actually have this QR code and join me in LinkedIn. A little bit about our company. Basically, someone probably knows about iSpring or somebody probably use our tools. For those who don't know anything about our company, we are a global international company with presence in a lot of countries. And what we offer is actually training for any type of the clients, services, tools that helps them to actually foster through training and grow for organizations. And what is our agenda? We're going to take a look at common stereotypes that we have across Gen X, Millennials, and also Gen Z. We will take a look at these stereotypes and also from the angle of corporate life. So what are the true motivations behind these stereotypes? And how we can actually turn them into success. So we will highlight some of the values across all these generations. And if we speak about corporate life, we will take a look at some very important things like loyalty, tech, feedback, leadership, how they actually address to all these type of generations. And that will help us actually to know how to foster the collaborative environment and harmonious atmosphere within our workplaces. So at the end we will have time, we will have a Q&A session, but also I would love you to take part in some of our polls today. So stay tuned. But before we dive in, actually, I want you to tell you that knowing a lot of knowledge about generations is good, but actually how to foster the generational gaps and how to make this comfortable situation in every workplace. So you would need to use lots of different tools for that. One of them, iSpring LMS, that helps and comes in to help you to actually foster that. We have a true full cycle of corporate training, from creating very engaging and very flexible content across all generations. Plus, you can deliver it easily to all your teams and actually help them to grow together. But let's start with, first of all, generations. How actually people start dividing people into generation, when we started to do that. Basically, the first, it came from sociology, and there was an interesting book by William Strauss and Neil Howard about generations. There he described how actually different social events like technical progress, war, or actually have impact on different generations on their behavior and their attitudes. That's very interesting. And right now we actually can divide all these generations for two. It's baby boomers. You can see they're from 1965. Then goes Gen X from 1965 to 1980. Millennials, 1981 and 1996. So I'm actually in that group. So, and Gen Z from 1997 and ongoing. So, before we speak about it, what's important? Basically, the last thing to do is to reinforce all the stereotypes that I'm going to actually show you. But our goal is to do our own research and take a look at this topic from a different angle, from a corporate life. And therefore, we will take a look at it from our own research that we did based on US news and global reports. We take a look at a lot. And we'll take a look how actually we can benefit from these reports and how we can make a harmonious actually workplace together. The first stereotypes we're going to take a look is actually work ethic. From that we can tell you that Gen X are usually considered to be hard workers. They can actually work all day long and prefer traditional way, like from 9 to 5 hour work day. Millennials are actually considered to be a little bit lazy. Well, I think it's true a little bit, right? I think all millennials can tell you about this, but they actually prioritize work-time balance over the hard work. If we speak about Gen Z, they actually they are not willing to commit, and they're actually looking for flexibility and also for personal time. So, what's the true motivation behind all of that? We can be sure that yes, Gen X, they actually love productivity, they love to work hard, but they also love the work-time balance. Therefore, the true motivation for them is stability. If they have the stable work and they know that it comes to productivity, they would love to work and work hard. For millennials, it's the same. They seek more for purpose in their work. If they have tasks that align with their goals, they would love to work hard. As for Gen Z, they value growth opportunities and they want to have the balanced work. So they prefer a personal life and also work life. They want to have a balance between that. So if you can actually offer to your generations, like all your employees who are actually in different generations, flexible options for working, that can be hybrid work, somebody can work remotely, and they can choose the time for their lunch or for their productivity time, so that would be the perfect thing. Next, let's do a quick poll. So, how often do you notice turnover in your company? Just raise your hand if it's rarely, if it's occasionally. Great, thanks for your feedback. And frequently, and it's a challenge for you. Okay, thank you. So, what's the main stereotype about loyalty? Because loyalty is the key for turnover. If the loyalty is high, turnover will be less, right? So for Gen X, it's that's true. They actually like to work a lot and they like stability, so they will work hard for one company for a long time. That's important. For millennials, they actually are considered to be job hoppers. They change their job roles very often. Gen Z, they actually don't stay in the company for a long time as well, even I think more frequent than millennials. So what's true behind all of that and how we can work with this? Basically, Gen Z, they are very, very loyal because they actually prefer stability and they love reliable tasks, and therefore if company allows to do that and give it to them, they would be happy to work and loyal. But the only thing that they're considered not to change a lot, but that's not true. They would be happy to change and let's say adopt new technologies, etc., if they know that it gives them productivity. If they can help to raise their productivity, they would love to actually change, actually work a lot for their company. Well, what about millennials? They actually, why they are changing their roles? They're actually looking for the roles that help them to make also value and if they align with their own tasks. So it's important that the company itself also promote their goals, and if these goals are aligned with the goals of millennials, honestly, they will work a lot in your company. Me, I'm a millennial. I work with iSpring for 12 years for now, and I love my job. And not only because team that is around me, but also because I actually can see the purpose of my work and can see my career growth. That's important. Gen Z also, they're very familiar to millennials. They also prefer having the clear path for their career growth when they see, plus if they have a balance and if the company actually support this balance between hard work and also personal free time. That's important. And then that will make you your teams very loyal. So what's important then for you? How you can turn this into success? Career development programs. If you don't have them, that's important to start doing. And mentorship programs that can strengthen loyalty across all groups. In our learning management system, we support both. So we have custom development programs that you can create by yourself, and you can create them tailored to different generations. That will help a lot. Next poll. How comfortable is your team when using new technology? Let's just raise your hand. Very comfortable. Great. Some were comfortable. Great. And not comfortable at all. Thank you for your honesty. So, what's the stereotype across technology use? So, I think it's common stereotype that Gen X very slow for adopting new technologies, right? Millennials, they actually tech savvy, they like technologies, and they use it all the time. Well, Gen Z, I think you already know, they're actually very native at technologies, and sometimes they consider to be very obsessed with it. So, but what's the true motivation behind that, right? So honestly, Gen X, they really like technologies, but if you want them to adopt it, you need to show them what's the purpose of that. If it allows them, again, to make their work more productive, they would love to do that. They would love to adopt it. You know, lots of Gen X started to use computers, although it's very hard for them, but they love it. Millennials, they actually value tech for streamlining work. So for them, it's important to work with technologies as well, especially that helps them to make their work more valuable. And Gen X as well, although sometimes people say that Gen X, they do like technologies, but they lack the interpersonal skills, that's true. They prefer using technologies for interpersonal communication as well. So the mix of different communicational ways is the key success for all generations. So what you can do for that? Well, tech-focused mentorship brings everyone to speed up and promote knowledge sharing. What does it mean? What you can do is the best way is to ask or make a career path for your Gen Z, let's say, to make a workshop for millennials and probably for Gen X to adopt the new technology. Who remembers who was the first in your team to start using AI? I guess that would be Gen Z. For our team, that's true. And what our team members done, they actually asked to make that workshop for Gen Z. And that was very helpful because other teams started to use AI, and I think everybody in our team use it very frequently. So that's the key of success. Excuse me. Let's move on. The next poll. How often do you provide feedback to your team? Weekly. Who does that weekly? Good. What about monthly? Annually. Great. Only when needed. Okay, good, thank you. So what about stereotypes about feedback and communication? Honestly, Gen X are actually considered to be unwilling about the constant feedback. They don't like it. They like work individually most of the time. For millennials, feedback is essential. They need to have it all the time, especially they consider to be fragile if they're not praised for their hard work, right? And Gen Z, they actually very impatient. They need feedback all the time as well, and they're not ready to wait for official reviews. So what's behind of that? What's the true motivation? Basically, Gen X, I actually love feedback, but now it's only if it's straightforward. If it goes straightforward to their work and it helps to them to grow, to make their work more productive, then yes. For millennials, feedback is very essential, honestly, and if you can do that all the time, and that can be a part of their development growth, and you can praise them for any recognition, that's important. They will love it. For Gen Z, feedback is important as well for improvement and success because they're very proactive, and it's important them to see how their progress is going, especially in their personal development. Right, next one. So what feedback across all generations we can use, how we can actually support. You can create flexible feedback system in your LMS systems. iSpring actually has their own 360-degree performance appraisal, which is not a part of the HR, but already in our LMS system. And you would be able to see this feedback that was given by peers, by mentors, by customers, or even partners. So you will keep that everything in one place in their own user profiles. Plus, we do at iSpring it twice a year in order to review their grades or raise their salaries. So it's very important to see the feedback from other co-workers, how actually they are performing. This is the key success. Next poll will be around leadership development. So how does your company approach leadership development? Formal training programs, do you do that? Great, thank you. What about mentorship? Wonderful. On-the-job experience? Great. And who don't have any formal strategy so far? All right, great, nobody, so it's good to know. So, what's the common stereotypes about leadership? Basically, Gen Z are considered to be very, very rigid and very traditional and unable to actually mentor new employees. That's a stereotype that there's over here. For millennials, they're usually considered to be a little bit unexperienced and more for collaboration leaders than for mentoring someone. And Gen Z, they're very impatient. Very ambitious, but on the other hand, they prefer quick results. So usually they don't like to put them as a leader role. So, but what's the common motivation? I guess everybody knows that from any generations, we have leaders. And Gen Z, they are native leaders. They have vast experience that they can actually share. So the important thing is to offer them a structured mentorship. Then in this case, with the correct framework, they would be able to mentor younger employees very well. For millennials, that's important to have collaboration in leadership. They're very active, they're very friendly, and I guess if someone will be their mentor, they would love this friendly atmosphere that they will create. That's important. And for Gen Z, they're very ambitious and purpose-driven. That means that if you put that into their career development plan, to be a leadership or a mentor someone, they would love to do that and will do their job well done. So, what's the supporting leadership across generations? Intergenerational mentorship programs that what can build connection. Each group bringing unique strategies. So, basically, if you want to make leaders, you need to give them the chance, but just give them a really correct framework that would be comfortable for them to mentor. The last but not least, the next poll I want to show. How does your company approach skill development for employees? Again, formal training programs, who do that? Great. On-the-job learning? Wonderful. Mentorship and coaching? Great, thanks. And no formal development? I think nobody, right? Great. So, career development and skill building. This is one of the things important in every company. So, what about Gen X? Basically, they are usually not interested to develop new skills. They already have their traditional methods that they usually use and they know how to get this success and make their work done very well. And they are not willing to adopt new. For millennials, they actually like learning, studying. That I know for me. I love training. I go for any training, but the only lack, we don't know how to put that in practice, right? So we have lots of theoretical knowledge, but how to put that in practice, that's hard. For Gen Z, because they're so obsessed with technologies, they don't pay too much attention for such things like broader skill or soft skills, and it's important probably to make it connected together. So what's the common motivation and true motivation for all of them? Well, basically, Gen X, they like practical skills. If we can explain them that these new skills will help them to make their job much better, more productive, they will do that. Millennials also the same. They need to see the progress in their career growth, in their values. So if we do that, they will love to make new skill building, especially if we can show them how they can apply that in practice. And for Gen Z, should be focused on both technology, of course, and we need to connect it with values for broader guidelines and for practical side as well, for soft skills that we need to pay attention for. So how to make that successful, all our generations? Hands-on learning experience performance, it's structured growth and different credentials and certificates, and test drive learning with mentorship to apply skills today. You can make also screenshots if you want. Thank you. So, summing up what we have just talked today, the important things that we need to highlight to support really productive collaboration across different generations. It's cross-generational mentorship, asked to do different teams to share their expertise. For Gen Z, that's technology. For Gen X, their experience, let's say for effective communication, how to set up time, goals. So that's important. That is flexible work arrangements. Allow them to choose the time to have lunch, to have more productive time, so to work with a hybrid time, remotely or at office. Purpose-driven project, that's important. That should be aligned with their values. And of course, continuous learning options. Lifelong training is important for everybody, for any generation. So, I would like also you to join our LinkedIn Learning community. It has lots of valuable information. We promote lots of free webinars that you can attend. Please feel free to join it today. And a lot of extra materials on different topics. Plus, we've got to you one quick present. It's our Zoomer-friendly guide. Please also welcome to screen this QR code. It's also available in our community, but feel free to do that with this one. So I would like to actually thank you everybody who comes today for today's meeting. If you have questions, you're welcome to come to our stand. Me and my colleague Anna would be happy to answer all of them or show our system around, our learning management system. We are at the stage H40. Again, I want to say thank you very much, and I wish you a wonderful show for today. Thank you.